Welcome to the locker room. Coming up, the crisis is chronic at Real Madrid. Just how long does Zidane have left? Landon Donovan is set to play in Mexico. Captain America returns from retirement again. And all good things must come to an end. City's unbeaten run was undone by Liverpool. All topics on the show tonight. Welcome to our panel, Ray Hudson, Christine Vieri, Thomas Rongan and Gary Bailey. Let's get started with Real Madrid losing 1-0 to Villarreal at the weekend. They are now 19 points behind Barcelona in La Liga, and in an exclusive post-match interview with beIN Sports, Toni Kroos spoke candidly about his side's objectives this season. Here are his comments.
We have to first, in our position at the moment, we have to look that we were to qualify for the Champions League next year. That's I think this must be our goal for the rest of the season, because 16 points is far away. It's not. I think it's not at the moment what we have to think about. At the moment we have to think about the next game to win, to get the points, to get sure to come to the second or third place.
Thank you very much, Sonny.
So it was 16 points on Saturday when he spoke. Then Barcelona won their game in Anoeta, so it became 19 points. He's the first Real Madrid player to actually say something so frankly about the team. Most of them have been saying, yeah, you know, for as long as the league title is still in our sights, we'll fight for it. Was he right to say that?
You know, here's the thing, Kate, you can't tell the truth. I mean, the reality is, if you meet a footballer who's not good, you can't say to him, you're a garbage footballer. You say, you know, it takes a little bit of work. And the same with players. You can't come out and say, you've got to qualify. Yes, that's the truth, but the fans want to hear that you can still win the league title, and maybe Barca lose 5 on the trot and you keep going.
I think they've passed that stop, Gary. I think the Madridistas really recognise what's going on now.
And they don't want to hear the positive talk.
They don't want that false papering over the cracks, in my opinion,
which
Thomas.
I've heard for months now, right? I agree.
The guy came out, said what was right. Yep. Hey, he needs to get his own act together as well, because he ain't playing. He's the most expensive player in that Real Madrid midfield, the highest paid player. Right. He's not playing well.
Man, they should have won 7-0.
They should.
Come on. This is unlucky. They're so unlucky. No, they're so unlucky.
Bobo, how long do you say you're unlucky? They've done it from the start of the season. That's Zidane's mantra. All the players, we have possession, we're unlucky, we can't score. Come on, sooner or later, Bobo, you got to say, let's go.
But what are you supposed? If you're the coach, after that game they played, what are you going to say to the team?
I'm going to say for the 12th time again, we're unlucky. No, I'm going to get up.
Say the truth.
I'm going to get up and I'm going to say, you know what?
What?
Ronaldo, you're the leader. You're the leader, Kroos.
Okay, but
here we go. Let's play.
I agree, but sometimes you have those years that you have a hard time.
And Zidane, in his manner, they've had the closed-door meetings. They've had the president. I mean, this isn't schoolboy football. These are the best players on planet Earth. They know the predicament they're in. Zidane does as well. The president does. Yep. They're not putting the ball away. It's like Bobo says, Thomas. The ball ain't going in for them. Now, you're right in saying that you've got to step up. Cristiano Ronaldo,
but they are, right?
Maybe, and Marcelo, these were the untouchables. Something's got to change. The house is on fire. Cristiano, we're having a rest. Marcelo,
and who's going to play? Who's going to play? Am I going to play for Ronaldo? Who's on the bench?
Look at the stats. 29 shots in that match, and they didn't score.
Jeez.
There was 2 penalty appeals, and we broke it down on the weekend. Both were penalties for me. So at the end of the day, this is one of the games where they were unlucky. I think to Thomas's point, there's been some games where they haven't been unlucky. They've just been. So here's one other thing. Last season, they scored a lot of goals in the last few minutes. This season, after the 86-0, is the commitment there?
You know what?
You go. No, you go.
I was just going to say, you know, the mentality in football is often very, very underrated. And it's not given the right credence a lot of times. The mentality in this team now is what needs to be adjusted. That's where it starts. Because I'm seeing a Real Madrid team that's working their backsides off. They're playing hard. They're playing well. Everything's going right. But the mentality of this team is that they're saying that we don't know what's wrong.
Well, you know why? Because they're doing everything.
Exactly.
What are you going to say to Ronaldo? Train 6 times a day? What are you going to say? Marcelo, cross the ball better? Sometimes, Ray, you don't know. We try to find an answer. But when I played, I've lost games.
Sure.
I did 1 year with Inter.
It's football.
We were 6th last. We were losing games against everyone. Yeah. Why? Sometimes you don't know. You don't always have an answer.
Can I give you one possible answer to this? is last season there were real quality on the bench that could scare
we've
you.
said that
And you know
before.
what? No,
Well, we've said it 100 times,
but players are players. And as the season goes on, it's easy to put in 98%, not 100%, because there's no one to take the players.
Zidane is where the mentality
Zidane
is
in charge
point.
of the worst Madrid team in recent years. Right now, let's be real honest. I agree, mentality. I look at you, Bobo. You've played at the highest level here. You had guys in the locker room everywhere you played that maybe looked at each other and said, okay, we have to do this without Zidane. Let's go. Am I correct?
Yes, but when I watch them play, I don't see players that they don't care.
That's right.
Everyone's playing, everyone's running, everyone's giving. They just don't have the results.
So
That's how I see it.
Is that what's buying Zidane some time right now? Because there's a report in Diario AS, a Spanish newspaper today, that says he has a month.
He's off. He's going.
Don't mention the papers to Bobo. I've told you before.
He has a month
Vikings.
to impress, and obviously that month takes us right up to the 14th of February against PSG. How long do you see him in this job?
No, this is going to be an interesting discussion here, because my thought is that if they lose against PSG, as brilliant as he has done, and he has been brilliant, I get the sense that Real Madrid will give in to the end of the season and say, right, we're bringing somebody in. It's the way Real Madrid have done it. So in my book, PSG is his big Waterloo. It's his big moment. If he gets through that, maybe he's got a chance of staying. If he goes out, I reckon he's done.
Okay, on that theme, let me tell you. Let me tell you. In 1997, Real Madrid finished 7th, won the Champions League. In 1999, they finished 5th, won the Champions League. So
what are we talking about?
Real Madrid, Madridistas, don't give up hope. You're going to win the Champions League as long as you finish in 4th or 5th in La Liga.
You know what I think that you can't base everything on one game against Paris Saint-Germain. You can't.
He'll win nothing
Gary,
then.
But soccer's not like that. You're going to have years. So what are they going to do in PSG? What about beIN? Everyone's going to shoot them
Emery
through.
will lose his job.
There's teams that don't win. What's Man City? They spent €3 billion in the last 7-8 years. They've won nothing.
There's no manager in Real Madrid's history that has won as much as Zidane in such a short time. There has never been a more iconic footballer that's managed ever that's won as much as Zidane. Maybe Guardiola. You can argue that. I think they'll give him the credit, but I tell you what, they're going to have to get players in next year.
There are some signs right now that would scare me if I was making the decisions for Real Madrid. And the reason being is I don't want any reinforcements. I believe in my players.
He's stubborn.
But you know what?
He's too stubborn.
He is contradicting himself.
Right.
He made 2 subs in the last game, not 3. Where's Ceballos? In the stands.
Right.
Where is our boy Mayoral? The only other forward is warming up for 45 minutes. It's not being used. He doesn't trust. He's saying right now, I don't trust my players.
Another one, Theo Hernandez now. You got to look at Marcelo and think, and everybody knows how much I love Marcelo. It's not going right for him. Kovacic might need to be brought in. With the other one that you said, Ceballos. These are players now. They've got to turn to.
The young kids, you can't put them in at the Bernabeu when the crowd is going nuts and burn the kids. I think he's doing the right thing.
So you bring in Asensio and Vasquez from Isco and Bale?
They're
0-0 at home?
But you know why? They're already used to play. Where are we going?
We've got to move. We will be returning to Real Madrid a little later in the show, and we will ask if there are any truth in the rumours that Cristiano Ronaldo wants to return to Manchester United. But there you go, that's the front page in Diario AS today. Cristiano wants to go to Manchester United. They say that he's upset at the moment with his contract situation at Real Madrid. We'll touch on that in the next segment. But next up, Landon Donovan has dusted off his boots once again to return from retirement once again. The US soccer legend is going to play for Club Leon in the Liga MX on a 1-year deal. Do you think he still has what it takes to excel there, or is he putting his legacy at risk?
Landon is a very interesting guy that I know going all the way back to the under-17 residency program that produced Beasley and Landon Donovan that did so well for Bruce Arena in the 2002 World Cup when Landon Donovan arrived on the scene. One thing, yes, he's 36. He's the fittest player, Bobo, I've ever seen.
Almost 56.
He can work in the red zone, we call that, for long periods of time. That might, for me, mean a heart attack. It's incredible. So I'm not concerned that he's not going to be fit. But my concern right now is Leon is in second place. They almost beat Tigres in the Clausura. They get a Colombian Argentina. They got some good guys going forward. 180,000, and you bring him in as a sub. So I'm not so sure why the reasons are, but I love he speaks Spanish. Well done, he's eccentric.
I
he went to
speak
Tibet.
Spanish too.
You do.
I speak a poquito.
Okay, they give you 200,000 a month right now at Club America. Would you go?
I don't know about this legacy because you Americans always talk about the legacy or this crap there. He's 36. For me, he retired too early, two times already. Go have fun.
The thing is that, guys, we're talking about the most accomplished American footballer in the history of the game here. I mean, he carries a lot of legacy. I don't want to see Landon going and having a bad time, even though the money's going to be spectacular. Personally, hey, listen, we all want him to succeed, and maybe he will. He knows his body. He's a good footballer still, and we saw it in LA.
It's not going to be easy for him.
It's not going to be easy, and that's what he likes.
The thing is,
wants that challenge, man.
It's a tough league.
It's the last time, though.
Can I say something?
Bubba, you went to China.
I'm the one that
played.
retired the latest out of all three of you.
Yeah.
What's you doing at home? Zero. Nothing. Go play. Go have fun.
But maybe play at a different level. That's a tough level.
But what's the difference? First division, second division.
that's
Go
Landon.
there,
He's taking
have
it on.
fun, get some money. You're gonna be fit again.
That's
You're gonna
fine.
score some goals.
That's fine.
When you try to make a comeback, what was it, 44 to go to China? You worked hard. No, was it easy
Last
for
year,
you?
I was trying to fool the Chinese.
That's 10 years on now. Listen, Joaquin scored today for Betis and he's 36. So, still to come. Did Liverpool's win over Man City at the weekend give us some insight into what is the most effective style of football right now? And is the Premier League really going to be welcoming back Cristiano Ronaldo? We've also got some gorgeous goals to show you too. We'll be right back on The Locker Room. Welcome back to The Locker Room. Now, Real Madrid's collapse this season is weird, right? Italy not making the World Cup, also completely unexpected. Yet none of these are as bizarre as what happened in Ligue 1 this weekend.
What happened, Kate?
Referee Tony Chaperon, what were you thinking? Check this out, Nantes PSG. So the Diego Carlos player in the last minute of the game, PSG advancing on the counter. He seems to accidentally cross paths with the ref. Ref stumbles and then kicks the player and then gives him a yellow card and sends him off. Second yellow.
The ref needs to get sent off for kicking out. I mean, if the player kicked out, he'd be sent off. That's just crazy. And I actually asked the question, is the referee an ex-player? Because it almost looks like an ex-player's response. That's stupid. If it had just hugged him, right? If it had just hugged him, it would have been all over.
How many times does this happen? Like when a player and a referee,
The clash?
they clash. It happens with
That's it. It was a pure accident as it happened. But this guy, he loses his head completely and kicks out him. You know what? That's what I would have done as well.
What?
I would have kicked the player.
No,
I would have.
But right now he's been...
That's the type of referee I would have
He's
been.
been
that's the
suspended.
player you were, but not the referee.
He's been
No.
suspended.
I'd have carried it on in the referee.
Suspended indefinitely.
Yeah.
He would have officiated a game.
Who, the
coming up
player
next.
was?
No, the referee
The
was.
player should
Let
have
me
been
ask you
fined.
something.
Go.
You think this player plays next Sunday?
You mean they'll turn around the red
They're appealing the yellow, yes,
Absolutely,
Nantar,
he'll
yeah.
play.
The thing
He'll
is,
play.
All right.
we're asking what were you thinking? The referee definitely
wasn't.
froze. It was just emotion. And like
I don't know what he was thinking. Now, in other strange goings-on at the weekend, Barcelona finally broke the curse of Anoeta, a ground that they hadn't won at in La Liga since 2007. Lionel Messi's lovely free kick completed the 4-2 comeback win for the Blaugrana. Here's a look at that. But did this game and the next we're about to discuss show us that trends are changing in football? Possession stats in this one. 49% Real Sociedad, Barcelona 51%. Not the usual figures that you see with a Barcelona game. So, are we seeing that keeping hold of the ball is not the best tactic
Just
in the
want
game
to say
right
before
now?
Thomas starts on this, because he's got his great soliloquy that he rightfully should get
What I
into.
have to hear in this.
The
this
midfield
country.
for Barcelona wasn't that type set up for that sort of possession. And
For a reason. I'm
Real
sure.
Sociedad played tremendously well. But Tommy,
For a reason. If you look at Valverde on the road, if Iniesta doesn't play, it's either Gomes or Dennis Suarez. You know, not any of the four are players that can make it. So you rely on Messi. What they're saying is, if we keep the 0, we'll score 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, or 5. So 50-50. They'll outpossess most teams, though. They're an outlier still. But if I look at Atleti, if I look at Liverpool, I just looked at that. You know what? Everybody, Liverpool attacks, possession. No. You know what? Liverpool against Sevilla, 30-70 for Sevilla. Liverpool-Chelsea, 52 for Chelsea. That doesn't have take 48. Arsenal, Liverpool, 55. Arsenal, 45. City last game. So in the big games, Liverpool concedes
Well, let's
possession.
say what it was.
And it's more
Liverpool
effective.
36% to City 64%, and the winners were Liverpool 4-3.
Can I say one more thing, Bob? Sorry. It's called TIT, all right? Team, individual.
TIT.
No,
Wait, I'm gonna write this down.
That means someone else, doesn't it?
No.
Hey, you put it on a T and an S and we're okay.
Let me finish here. Come on.
Write it down.
Don't write it down. No, the TIT means team, individual, tendencies, and tactics.
You
And
lost me
teams
there.
right now, they have a purpose. They're more effective. And you know what? If you look at all those teams that have less possession, they're more effective in their pass accuracy, Rocky. In the final
I know,
third,
Tommy,
they've got less shots on goal, but their shot
But let me
accuracy
just ask you
is
about some
higher
stats
than
here.
anybody
Hang on a sec.
else.
Thomas,
Hang on. Let me just finish here, It depends on if you play at home and in the road. I know you guys are not coaches. I think about that stuff,
Yeah.
I have to.
But I've
in
got a
order to put my
question
team
for you. I've
in a
got a
position
question
to
for
win.
you.
Go ahead.
Manchester United won today with 60% possession.
Yeah, who are they playing?
Real Betis, okay, Stoke. Real Betis beat
That's what I
Leganés
mean.
with 68%.
Gary,
Nice beat Amiens with
that's a
50%.
stupid-
So,
those are
but hang on a
bad
sec.
examples.
One team has to have more possession than the
I
other.
understand. We're talking about Liverpool, Atleti
So
right
what
now.
must I
and
do?
stuff like-
Give the ball to the opposition?
Atleti gives the ball to a lower team, all right, and
Yeah?
still wins, like they've done in the last 5 games.
Are you saying that
That's
as a team, I must give the ball away to the opposition because I'm better off without it?
Yeah. Rinus
So everyone's going to give the
Rinus
ball away?
Michels in 1979 said, you know what, this is not Ajax, this is not total football, this is not Barcelona, you know what, you guys are not good, so you know what, we're better without the ball,
All right.
Rinus Michels
Some
said.
teams.
So hold on. So,
We've got to move. Go
Sorry,
on.
guys,
We
sorry,
have to.
sorry.
Oh, how the hell do we answer that? We've got a Dutchman
I need an hour and a half.
that invented total football saying, we don't want the ball.
You should go coach.
No, I didn't say that, Rock. Okay. I want to, you know me, I love to attack.
Right.
But current teams, big teams right now, are very
Defensive,
effective
okay.
tactically saying, you know what, fine.
All right,
think that'll
round
ever
the
happen in
table now.
Barcelona.
No,
Round the
maybe
table.
not.
Can we talk about this, please?
Well, we'd like to. We'll
Next
return to
year.
this subject because the front page of Diario As today said that Cristiano Ronaldo wants to leave Real Madrid and return to Manchester United because the player feels betrayed by his club for not keeping their word and renewing his contract. Christian's laughing at this. Is this just paper talk?
If I'm him, I go to Man United straight away.
Absolutely.
Why?
Because he's whistled in nearly every game. He's not treated right. You get out of there.
Yeah.
Go away. They want you. They love you, and they treat
I
you.
love
good.
it. Keep
Always.
saying that. Keep
Whoever
saying
the player is. Always.
Keep saying it.
Do you really
Got it.
think there's any truth in these rumours?
No, I really don't. But, I think the Madridistas love Cristiano Ronaldo more than anybody, as much as Barcelona fans love Lionel Messi. But when he's playing bad, Cristiano, like Keylor Navas does, like every other one that ever played,
Ray.
they get booed.
When you,
that's
but
what happens.
when you've got players that give everything,
Yeah.
and everyone knows that he's a lunatic when he trains, he gives everything. You don't whistle a player when he scores a goal a game for
They
5,
do.
6,
He
7
wants-
years,
he wants
and
to
he
be
gives
loved, doesn't
everything.
He does. He wants to be loved. I agree with you. He's a fantastic player, gives everything. And he's probably looking at Messi, where Messi gets now double his wages, double what Cristiano earns, what Messi earns. And he's saying, I've won 3 Ballon d'Ors in the last 4.
Right.
I want the same sort of contract.
Right.
And if the man who owns the club or runs the club is not coming forward saying, we're going to sign you up and give you whatever you want, you start to look somewhere else where you will be.
It's bad timing.
Appreciated. Man
Like-
United
like
is that
my team,
player.
Manchester
great
United.
point.
Exactly. You go.
Thomas is right. The timing
bad
of it
timing.
it couldn't be any worse. When they're in crisis and now their star player, who was looked after better
Yeah.
than anybody, says,
I
I,
agree
want
with-
more
yeah.
money.
So
and
what?
it's not the best time.
So when you
We're
win a
out.
game, you go ask money. When you lose, you know, what is this? What is this? We're gambling here. It's, we're in Las
He should have
Vegas.
been looked after
We'll let you
by the
continue
boss as
arguing
well.
in the break, guys. We've got top goals when we return. Who's made the cut in the top 5 this week? Find out when we return here on The Locker Room. Welcome back to The Locker Room. Time to show you our top goals, and we've got 5 absolute beauties for you. We'll be starting in Ligue 1 in France. Gary Bailey, you picked Salibor.
Yeah, keep an eye on this. Comes in onside it on his left. A little bit of skill. Plays the 1-2, goes for it. Back heel, and eventually chips the goalkeeper. How's that for
Beautiful. How
How's
many
that for good
1-2s on
effort?
the run?
Brilliant.
5 1-2s,
I
Gary.
He keeps going, eh?
Magic.
He keeps going.
I don't
Yeah.
think they wanted him to do 1-1-2 there.
Thomas Rungren.
Luciano Vieto Valencia, with his incredible goal. Anything from distance or at midfield line, seeing the goalkeeper over his line. How does that feel, Gary Bailey?
I've never experienced it.
Oh, brilliant.
What I like about that, Thomas, is it's not all power, it's placement.
Yep, very good.
Yep.
Here
Next
is
up.
the number 9 of Barcelona.
Oh.
There's some people that are saying that he wants to cross the ball.
No, idiots.
Want to cross in the middle, but he just put on the second post. Sergio, someone just broke his roof. But
Nobody
He
cares.
ended up on the
fantastic
post.
goal.
And this is from me, Porto from Girona. Now, it's the man here holding up the ball that was the star of the show, Michael Olunga. But look at this goal. The pace was something that Las Palmas could not deal with on the day of this young man, Porto. But there he is, Michael Olunga, the Kenyan, the first Kenyan to score in La Liga. Setting up the goal here as well for the Porto. Wonderful stuff. And Ray?
This one for me is one of the best goals of the year. This wonderful counter-attack from the Yellow Submarine to sink the Real Madrid battleship. They tried everything they can. The game was dying. This one comes out. Keylor Navas makes a great block, but Pablo Fornals, an absolute wonderful rainbow hit that is a pot of gold at the end of it. Brilliant by Keylor. Where's the rest of the defenders? Keylor tries to grow his fingernails to get it. Couldn't do it. Pablo Fornals magic.
Wonderful stuff there. Now, stick around with us here on beIN Sports, because after the locker room tonight, we've got Monday Night Soccer with George DiMattelis. He's got lots in store. Here's what's coming up, George.
You know, Kay, here on the anchor leg of Magisterial Mondays, Monday Night Soccer. I'm sorry, Ray, I had to steal your word there for just a second. We are going to show the action from the games that you guys have been quietly discussing on the locker room, including Barcelona's match at Anoeta, Real Madrid's debacle maybe against Villarreal and Nantes PSG, and also Eibar and Atletico Madrid. Some great action on Monday Night Soccer following the locker room here on beIN Sports. Back to you guys in the studio. Oh, and by the way, Gary Bailey's joining us as well.
Yeah, Gary Bailey's got a busy night here tonight, but there's something we missed. Christian Vieri chose a What I Loved. We didn't have any What I Loved today, but because of this one, we allowed him to have it. Neymar's nutmeg.
This is one of the best plays in the world. Look at this is training. The game, he's waiting for the second player to go. Look at the tunnel. Look at that nutmeg. That nutmeg. That's what it's called. What a player, man. What a player. Look at this nutmeg. That's very hard. You know who he reminds me of?
Corinthians.
No, the Brazilian Ronaldo that I used to play in Inter.
Oh,
he always used to do these things here.
Ronaldo.
Always.
Oh, so there you go. We put that one in, and you can understand why when you saw that one. Thanks for joining us on The Locker Room. We'll see you on Friday, same time, same place.